Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead and welcome back to another gorgeous, wonderful day here in Oklahoma. So I got up early this morning and came out and flew the drone a little bit and it was just phenomenal. The weather right now is perfect. But as you can see, we just got our second cutting of hay off our property this year. The guys showed up here to bale everything yesterday, right about the time I was leaving to go to Emily's softball game. So I wasn't able to get that on video. But from what I can count, we got about 30 round bales, and these are big, thick, heavy round bales baled on a big John Deere baler. So the plan, I told the guy that cuts our hay if he wanted to cut it one more time this year, he could just have the hay. A lot of times people do it on shares, but I told him he could just have it because I wanted the property cleaned up and look good, and it keeps me from having to brush hog it all or bring the tractor with a 6-foot mower and mow it all. Deer season's almost here, and I like everything nice and clean. I mean, you guys know what I mean. You know that feeling of that fresh cut grass in your yard. You walk outside and it's just beautiful. And that's how the property is right now. So my plan, we're gonna get out here, check all of our trail cameras today, see what we got. Houston is itching for deer season and it's just not that far away. So checking all the trail cameras, putting a little bit of corn out. Hate it if you like it, or hate it on me if you want, but it's legal to bait deer. So we put some corn out on the ground to draw them in to the game camera so you guys can see pictures, because every year you guys love to see those pictures. But I think I'm gonna get the tractor out with the rotary cutter and do some cleanup. So when those guys come around and cut hay, as you can see, maybe right here would be a perfect example, around this tree. So they don't like to get super close to trees and things with the hay cutter, which makes a lot of sense because they don't want to tear up their hay equipment. So I'm gonna get the tractor and the rotary cutter out and mow around some trees, may bring a pole saw and do some trimming up, just because it's beautiful. I mean, amazing outside. There's so many things I want to do during the summer months, but when it's 100 degrees, it's hard to get motivated to get out here and do some of these projects. So now that we've got the grapple bucket on that Kubota tractor, it just makes life so much more simple. So try to get some work done today while the kids are at school, and put my little earbuds in and listen to an audio book and just get some work done, clear my mind and do some stuff.
They're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. Oh, they're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. No more pain, no more worry. No more time for loving you.
Is it just me, or does that not look like 1,000 times better I don't know, there's just something that irks me, that aggravates me, I don't know. When you have trees out in a field and you get all those limbs hanging down to the ground, for some reason, that's just one of those pet peeves of mine. I hate it. And it sure makes it easier if you're cutting hay off your property, especially. Now, when the guys come in to cut hay, obviously not this year, we've already got 2 cuttings of hay this year, but in the future, they'll be able to get their big cab tractors closer to the trees, because what happens when you have a tree, like say that big pecan tree over there, they can't get their cab tractor up close to it. There we go. They can't get their cab tractor up close to that tree because there's just so many limbs hanging down. And then another thing that happens if you have somebody come in and cut your hay every year, to me at least, this is what I've noticed on my property, is you'll get every year, it's like your hay field gets a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller because these field edges don't get cut very well. So for example, it's kind of hard for you guys to tell because I've already come in with a rotary cutter, but they stopped cutting hay right here, and I had to come in with my rotary cutter and mow all the way back to the tree line. And what'll happen is from one year to the next, you get a few more trees pop up, a little bit more brush, and they cut just a little bit smaller. And before you know it, your hay field may go from 20 acres to 19 to 18, and 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, your 20-acre hay field has been encroached by brush and cut down to 10 acres. So it's one of those things, it's important to get out here, keep the trees trimmed up. But I'm telling you what, I know some of you guys get on me for talking about it, but that Land Pride grapple on the front of that tractor right there is the best implement I've ever had on a tractor. I absolutely love it. I mean, I can't even describe how much time that thing has saved me from having to pick up and clean up and drag limbs. Typically, you know, you get a pole saw out here, you do all your cutting for an hour, and you spend 4 hours dragging limbs. That, telling you what, I love it. If you got a tractor and you don't have a grapple bucket on the front of it, I'm telling you, look at these Land Pride grapples. It will be the most favorite implement of yours too, I promise you. Such a time saver. Well, I think that's a good place to quit for the day. And I got to get around and go clean up and, well, maybe clean up. As I told you guys a while back that we were getting high-speed internet. Well, they're working kind of in conjunction with our rural water company to go through the same pipe under the creek. Well, they cut our water line today, so they're fixing that. And so we don't have any running water at the house, so we off grid. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, guys, I talk to you guys all the time about so many things that I'm passionate about. And one of those things, you know, as adults, we always tell our kids how important education is. We always tell our kids school is so important, and education is important, but it's like once you graduate high school or college or finish whatever level of education, a lot of people stop right there. And I'm telling you, I listen to Audible all the time, and they are not sponsoring this by any means. This is just what I do. I put my headphones in. When I was a trooper, I would play it on my Bluetooth in my car. But I just finished a book called Playing with Fire by Scott Rickens, and it's like a 4-hour long audio book. And Playing with Fire is about the FIRE concept, which means financially independent, retire early. And you know, money is just one of those taboo things that we don't talk about. And, you know, as I was saying, education, we teach our kids that education is important. I truly believe if you ever stop learning, you're just gonna you're going downhill. You've always got to be, mentally, you've always got to be learning something. And I just feel like those audiobooks are an amazing way to do that. But this book was about the FIRE principle, financial independence, retire early. And it just gets me to thinking about where I'm at in my life. You know, I spent 14 years on the highway patrol and never dreamed I would leave the highway patrol that early. It's not like I was planning an early retirement from that. And guys, I don't want anybody to get confused. I did take an early retirement from the highway patrol. I'm not retired. I don't feel like I'm retired. I just switched careers to this. And this is what I am so passionate about. Yes, I absolutely love spending time out here on a tractor, mowing and cutting trees and deer hunting and fishing, and all those are hobbies. And I've been able to turn my hobbies into my career in a sense, but really talking to you guys is my passion. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And you know, you have to figure out where you're at in life and figure out where you want to go in life. You know, like finances. So many of us live paycheck to paycheck and don't even realize it. We'll have really nice houses, really nice cars, tractors, boats, you know, iPhones, Apple Watches, all the cool stuff. And you're living a good life, but you're still living paycheck to paycheck. And I really wish there was more instruction growing up and going through school on personal finance and on, you know, what borrowing money does to you. And, you know, my wife and I have been really considering buying an investment property. We went down to Pensacola and looked at beach condos, and then Pensacola gets hit by a hurricane. Good thing we didn't buy one yet, but we're not ready to do that yet. We're just learning, trying to figure that out, trying to figure out what our financial goals are in life. And, you know, money and finances are so taboo in our culture, but we show it. We show how much money we make, or pretend to show how much money we make by having car loans and loans for boats and loans for houses and loans for everything. You know, that FIRE principle, that financial independence, retire early, it's a little bit different than what Dave Ramsey preaches as far as his money steps, but it's still that financial independence. Get to a point where your investments are making enough income to pay you a salary so you don't have to work. Now, we're not there yet. We just, I'm open and honest about my finances. I tell you guys a lot, and I'll tell anybody that asks me, but we're trying to be completely debt-free. My goal is for us to be completely debt-free. We just recently paid off my wife's student loans. That was a huge thing. It took us, I mean, she's been out of college for a long time, and we're been out of college a while, but you know, student loans are just one of those things you walk into and you don't realize the trap you're getting in. So many of us do it. Go to college, you sign up for student aid, and they offer these student loans to cover you don't realize it, but you walk out of college with $50,000 in student loan debt, and then you're trapped. So then you have to go get a job to pay those loans. So when you go get a job and you get a good income, you're like, okay, well, I need a new car. And then you go, I got a new car, I need a new house. And next thing you know, you've built yourself this prison. You've borrowed yourself into a prison. And, you know, I'm not even going to talk about credit cards and payday loans and all that stuff. That's just, I'm not even going down that rabbit hole right now. But just think about where you're at in life. Have you worked yourself, or have you borrowed yourself into your own little prison? I think, at least here as Americans, I've talked about this before, the American dream is a tricky, slippery slope. You know, the American dream to go out and have that 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on 2 acres and have 2 new cars and all the stuff causes so much stress. And I think if we got right down to it and looked at, you know, there's so many studies out there that show like 65 to 80%, depending on what you look at, 65 to 80% of people hate their job. They hate where they're at in life, but they've borrowed themselves into their little prison and they're trapped. And we're not perfect. By no means, we are not perfect. We still, one of the things we're going to pay off really soon is a rental house that we have in town that my wife's grandma lives in. We bought that as an investment property several years ago, and through YouTube and Facebook and all the stuff we do now, we're getting to a point where we can actually pay that thing off and wipe out about $50,000 of debt. Man, it feels good to even just say that, you know. One of my good friends is Dutch from Keeping It Dutch, and we talk almost daily. And one of the things last year in 2019 we talked about so much was getting rid of so many little things, getting rid of those little things, those little medical bills, those little credit card bills, all those little bitty things that just pile up and steal all of your money. And whew, think about it. If you could wake up tomorrow and not have any debt, how much less stress would you have in your life? And think about that when you're getting ready to go buy a new car, when you're getting ready to upgrade your house or buy property. Think about, how many years is this debt going to put me into my little prison? And when you look at it like that, it's kind of a scary thought. You're going to go buy a house and it puts you in your little prison for 30 years. That's a scary thought, you know. And I'm very blessed and very fortunate to be in a position where I was able to walk away from my career to do this little career full time. And like I said, we're by no means perfect, but I can't explain to you guys the amount of just weight that I have felt lifted off of my chest in the last, let's see, this is we're in mid-September, so a little over 2 months. July 8th was my last day on the highway patrol. I can't even begin to explain the weight that's been lifted off my shoulders, the pressure that's lifted off of me. Not just the fact that that was a stressful job, that was a dangerous career, but just the fact that I'm not on somebody else's schedule. I'm able to get up in the morning, get my kids off to school, go to the gym, do what I need to do, and work on my own schedule. Guys, I know it's not for everybody, and I'm not saying being a YouTube creator is the end-all be-all, but if you can find a way to start your own business, to go to work for yourself, even part-time on the side, you never know where it's going to go. Guys, I really feel like I'm living my dream life right now. I feel like I'm happier than I've ever been. My family's happy. We've got so much going on that's good, and you know, God's blessed us with a lot, and I really feel like it's our responsibility to show that, to say, hey, God has blessed my family tremendously, and I'll put it out there publicly. I don't care. It's awesome. It's amazing, and I don't know. Thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching our videos. I appreciate each and every one of you for all the comments, the shares, the follows, the likes, all that stuff. You guys have helped me make this life possible, and I'm forever grateful. So, you know, one last word of advice, I guess, is, are you living life, or is life just living you? Are you just floating around, making it day by day? Are you living an intentional life with an intentional purpose? Or are you just surviving and barely getting by? I mean, if you're not careful, you'll look up 20 years from now and you'll still be in the same spot, doing the same thing, and only you can change it. So go out there, live your purpose, live your dreams, chase after them. Don't let a small-minded person kill a big dream. I've said it before on video. The easiest way to kill a big dream is to tell it to a small-minded person. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I truly believe that God puts thoughts in your head, and He only puts them in your head. You were wonderfully and perfectly created for a specific purpose. And I think God put you here for that purpose, and no one else can live your purpose. So if you're not, it takes courage to stand up and go live that purpose sometimes. I know it does, but if you're not, I truly, truly, truly believe if you would, your life would improve greatly and your stress levels diminish. They don't go away. We'll never be stress-free. We live in a broken world with sin, and Satan's always down there trying to catch you, trying to trap you. But it's your purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. Figure out why God created you, and go live it. So that's all I've got for today. Guys, I'm going to quit rambling. I think I rambled for about 10 or 11 minutes here. I don't know. I enjoy it. I like it. I have so much fun telling these little stories to you guys. And anyways, guys, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.